Hi, my name is Aaron Parker. I'm an L5 leader and EMT member of My Lead System Pro, and I'm very excited to bring this training video to everyone, not just inside of the MLSP community, but this training is going out to the world right here on the My Lead System Pro blog, and I'm very excited and honored to be able to share some of this information with you guys. So what I would first encourage for you to do in this short video is to get rid of any possible distractions that you have. Maybe get a pen and paper. I'm going to give you some items that you probably want to write down, because in this video I'm going to share with you exactly how you can use Facebook to generate more engagement, more comments, more leads completely for free. So, are you ready? All right, let's dive in. Now, I want to give you a quick heads up and plant a seed that this training video that you're watching right now is only going to be a piece of a 90-minute training that I did for MLSP members. And to get access to the 90-minute full training, along with 30 minutes of Q&A, where literally hundreds of MLSP members were asking me tons of questions for 30 minutes, and you'll be able to get access to that complete 90-minute training as a mastery member of MLSP. I'll talk more about that at the end. All right, so here we go. Boosting Facebook engagement. So what we're going to talk about today is your Facebook personal profile. So you have your personal profile, and you have a business page, a fan page. Now, I'm not going to get into any of the differences or any of the details between the two, other than you have a personal profile, you have a business fan page. We're not talking about the business fan page today, although in the full training, we do dive into some of the differences and pluses and minuses of the two. So with your personal Facebook profile, everything you do on there is free. There's no way for you to boost a post. Facebook tried that back in the day and it didn't really work out. So there's no boosting of posts or paying to get more exposure on your personal Facebook profile. Everything you do is completely free. So how do you get more engagement? How do you get more people to interact with you? Now, I will say this, there's always an exception to the rule. The exception would be if you're famous, which most of us are not famous, right? If you're a rock star, movie star, singer, the famous people, they don't have to follow the rules, because they could post pretty much anything and they'll get hundreds or thousands of likes and comments and shares and all that kind of stuff because they're famous. Now, for everyone else, like us, you're watching this, you're probably a marketer, you have a home-based business, and you'd like to use Facebook, this incredible tool that's completely free, to generate leads, maybe generate some customers, maybe generate some new associates for your business. And so here's some things I want to share with you. First of all, it works. My number one tool that I've used over the last 3 years to generate hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads. I've also personally sponsored over 300 people into my businesses over the last few years, all for free using Facebook. So let me share with you some of the ways that I've been able to get more engagement and generate some of the results that I just shared with you using a personal Facebook fan page, or not a fan page, a personal Facebook profile. All right, so first of all, Facebook can be a trap, and you've got to be wary of the Facebook trap. So make sure you're writing that down. Facebook can be either a powerful distraction or a powerful tool. If it's a distraction, and you find yourself, and listen, I'm guilty, I've done it. You get on Facebook and you start scrolling. Maybe you're on your cell phone, scrolling up, and you're just get lost. Oh, there's a funny video. You get lost. It's a distraction. And if you do that, it's going to zap your time. So that's something you want to be aware of, and you want to make sure you don't do. If you set time aside, and you're like, all right, for 10 minutes, I'm just going to get lost in Facebook. I'm going to watch some funny videos. I need to, kind of just go do that, then go do it. But when it's time to build, when it's time to implement strategies, it's time to be effective, you got to make sure that it's not a distraction. You want it to be an effective tool that can absolutely help you. All right. So first of all, I need to also cover this, expectations. A lot of people that I talk to who attempt to use their Facebook profile to build their business, to get leads, to get more engagement, what happens is, and I've done this, and a lot of people do this, is you start and you don't see results, and so then you kind of just give up. And then you end up using your Facebook profile for just whatever, posting crap, posting this, posting that, sharing this, being negative, talking about politics, and, all the stuff that's going to repel and push people away. And so you want to be careful of that, but realize that this strategy I'm sharing with you, it takes time. If you're a normal person like me, 3 years ago on Facebook, if I could post almost anything and I wouldn't get more than 5 or 10 likes. Like you guys know on Facebook now, you have the thing that says on this day. It's really cool. Make sure you check it out. It's on this day. And it shows you where you were on Facebook 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Well, I look at my posts from 3-4 years ago, no engagement, right? I could post the most amazing thing and I get 5 likes and no comments. Today I could post the same exact thing and it'll get 50 to 100 likes, and dozens of comments. So what changed? The only thing that changed is I was consistent. And I was consistent and I stayed on course with using Facebook as a tool. All right. So keep that in mind, that this strategy, you may not see a result instantly. Now, I will tell you that there are some things I'm going to share with you that will produce a boost in engagement almost immediately. And I've had from our full training we did, the 90-minute training, I had tons of people who have shared and have commented in the MLSP private Facebook group that their engagement has doubled, even tripled, just like that, since using what I taught in that 90-minute training. So remember, it's not a distraction. It should be a powerful tool. Don't let it trap you. Your expectations need to be in place. This strategy of using Facebook to boost your engagement, it could take, 3 to 6 months to a year before you really start to see, some incredible, ongoing, positive, explosive engagement on Facebook. For some of you, if you already have a following that's been built up, you could see a change right away. All right, so the question is, how do you get more engagement? How do you get more engagement? You ready for the answer? You build it. You cultivate it. You create it. You work on it. And so some of the ways that you do that and you get better engagement on Facebook, here's the first tip. You ready for it? Write this one down. It's a big one. Engage with other people first. So set time every single day. I personally, sometimes it's 10 minutes a day, sometimes it's 30 minutes a day, sometimes it could be an hour a day, but it's usually at least 10 minutes a day where I will, on purpose, not getting distracted, not getting lost, for 10 minutes a day or more, I am on purpose on Facebook in my news feed and I'm engaging with others. I am being excited. I am providing some love. I'm liking on stuff. I'm commenting on stuff. People who are sharing good stuff on Facebook, positive stuff, uplifting stuff, valuable stuff, I'm going to go engage on their posts. And so what happens is a couple things. Number one, those people who you're sharing love on their stuff, guess what they're going to do? Now Facebook says, hey, these two people are connected. And so now the next time you post on Facebook, guess what? Your post has a better chance of being in their newsfeed just because you were engaging on their stuff. Pretty cool, right? Here's what also happens. The people who are also seeing that other person's post, they're going to see your comment. And there's a possibility that some of their friends and their followers who see your comment could click on your profile and head over and check you out. So just saying. All right. So engage with others first. As they say, give love and you'll receive love. If you don't do this, this is the first thing, guys. If you don't do this, then how are you going to expect to get engagement? You have to give it first. So set time aside every day. You have to be consistent. Even if it's 5 to 10 minutes a day of you going out there. And if you want to kind of really, spice it up, if you want to really mix it up, guess what you could do? you could go into your Facebook friends and just start clicking on some of your friends and going to their profile, checking it out. So, or you could just go in the newsfeed. All right. So next is a big one. All right. How many times should you post on Facebook? All right. If you want more engagement on Facebook, do you think it makes sense if you only post once a week? Okay. So I see some people where I go to their Facebook page and I'm like, when was the last time this person posted something? It's been a week. It's been a month. And you're basically saying to Facebook that you're saying, hey, Facebook, I don't think you're very important. Hey, Facebook, I'm not really serious about using you. So I don't really care if you show my post to any of my friends because I'm not really using you that much. It's kind of what you're saying to Facebook. So not posting enough, that's a problem. But on the other side, I see people who post every hour or, 10 times a day. And here's the problem with posting 10 times a day. The reality is that when you post something on Facebook on your profile, did you know that your 1,000 friends or your 5,000 friends, that only a small percentage of your friends are going to see your post? Why is that? Because Facebook has an algorithm. It's not like Twitter, okay? It's not like Instagram where you see everything. When you go on Facebook and you go in your news feed, you don't see all your friends' posts. You just don't. Facebook decides whose friends are going to appear in your news feed. So when you post something, all of your friends don't see it. Sorry to break it to you, doesn't happen. Facebook says something like this. Facebook says, hey, you just posted something. We're going to show this post to, you have 1,000 friends. We're going to show it to 100 of them, and we'll see what happens. And if nobody likes or comments or engages on your post, then Facebook says, this post is not important. Nobody cares. And so they basically stop showing it to the rest of your friends. And you might say that's kind of messed up. That's just the reality. But if you post something on Facebook and they show it to 100 of your friends, let's say, and you start getting likes and comments, guess what? Facebook says, this is important. People are liking this. People are engaging with this. This must be valuable. This must be important. So Facebook then will open your post and more of your friends will see it in their newsfeed. Crazy, right? So here's what that means. If you're posting 10 times a day, do you really think Facebook is going to show your 10 posts to all your friends? No, you're not that important. Sorry to break it to you. So here's kind of what I've found. And the other side of the whole 10 post thing is, do you really think your friends who are seeing you post all the time, are they really going to want to like and comment on every single one of your posts? No, they're not, right? Unless you're famous, all right? There's always the exception. So here's kind of what I've found. Posting on Facebook, kind of the sweet spot, would be a minimum of once a day. If you're not posting at least once a day, then you're just, you're telling Facebook you're not really taking this thing serious, you don't really care, and blah, 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 blah. I think that once a day is consistent. The other thing about once a day is your friends are going to expect and will see that once a day you're posting something. Now, so let me continue. So once a day I would say is minimum. It could be in the morning, it could be at night. For me, the sweet spots is usually first thing in the morning or late at night, or between dinner time and bedtime, because everyone's on their phone usually in the morning checking things out. Obviously people are on throughout the day too, but then again at bedtime, nighttime, dinner time, bedtime, before they go to bed. So those are kind of two hot spots that I've found. Now the other, as far as posting goes, what I do is I usually post anywhere from 2 to 5 maximum a day, 2 to 5 times a day. So my 2 times a day would be morning and night. To me, morning and night is perfect. If you wanted like a perfect scenario, morning and night, because you post in the morning And then everyone in the morning is going to see your post, and they're going to see it throughout the day. So anyone who gets on throughout the day, they're going to see your morning post. What does that do? It opens your post up for more engagement, right? Now, at night, again, you've got all the people getting on at night. Post something. Now, again, when you're okay, so you got morning and night. That's kind of the sweet spot. But you could also do a morning, afternoon, and night. Okay, that's another good scenario. I typically would never post more than 5 times a day. And that's max. My norm, and I want to also throw a disclaimer, I'm not like an expert necessarily. I'm only sharing with you what I've found through experience. That's it. So this isn't even me saying that I've researched all this and I have all the facts on Facebook algorithms. I don't. What I'm sharing with you is just what I've experienced with posting hundreds of times, probably thousands of times over the last few years, and just kind of what I've learned as far as how Facebook works. So that's all I'm doing, just sharing my opinion. All right, for whatever it's worth. So, morning, afternoon, night is good, and that's usually about what I do. I usually do 2 to 3 a day. It's kind of my range. I kind of like that. All right, so I got a couple other quick things for you. We're going to wrap this up. So posting frequency, we just covered that. Next is the number one thing that will kill your engagement. Number one thing that will kill your engagement. And by the way, I have a little bonus for you. I'm going to share in this video that you're watching right now that I did not share in the 90-minute training, which has tons more stuff that I'm not even covering right now. But there's one thing I'm going to share with you here in a second that I didn't even cover in that big training. So sit tight for that. All right. The number one thing that will kill your engagement. You ready for it? This is something people really don't like to hear, but it's the reality. Links. A link, www, a link to a website, a link to whatever. The worst link you could probably put on Facebook is a link to your opportunity, a link to your product. Why is that? Because people don't like to be sold. People like to buy, but they don't like to be sold. And so if you're just posting business and your product, and here's my link, and go to my link, and here's my link, what are people going to do? First of all, they're going to become numb to it. They're going to say, oh, this person's just trying to sell me, or this person's trying to shove me down to their website, right? So that's part of it. Here's the other part of it. Facebook wants you to stay on Facebook. So if you're putting a link, Facebook, from my experience, is actually going to show your post to less people. Like, Facebook doesn't want all your friends to go and click on your link, and now they're not on Facebook anymore. It takes them out of Facebook. Facebook wants people to stay on Facebook all day long. So keep that in mind. But here's the bigger reason. Okay, that's just kind of my opinion, but here's the bigger reason I know for sure is a fact. When you put a link on Facebook, it does repel people because people don't like to be sold to. But the biggest reason is this, is that when you put a link on Facebook, what you're basically doing is you're giving all the goods. You're giving all the goods. And why does it kill engagement? Because if you say something like, here's this phenomenal product, it changed my life, yada, 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 and it could be a great post, here's the link, go here, then here's what happens. Pay attention carefully. Here's what happens. People usually, even if they do click on your link, which you want them to do, right? They're usually not going to like your post. They're usually not going to comment on your post. Usually. In most cases. Why would they like or comment when they're clicking on your link? And now they're off somewhere else. And so you might be thinking, well, that's great. They clicked on my link. Yes, but you've just killed your engagement. And now you have hardly any likes. You have hardly any comments. Why? Because you didn't give them a reason to engage on your post. See what I'm saying? So if you put a link and maybe some people go to your link, if your engagement, remember at the beginning of this video, I talked about this. If your engagement is low and you're not seeing likes or comments, Facebook says this post is not important. And so then Facebook says, okay, well, we're not going to show this post to the rest of this person's network, to the rest of their friends, because it got no engagement. And it got no engagement because you're promoting a link. So I talk a lot more about this in the full training, but I'll just tell you really quick what the other option is. Sorry, my screensaver just kicked on. The other option, instead of posting links, is to ask a question, to give some value, then ask a question and give a call to action. And the call to action is to comment or private message you to get access to the information, whatever that information may be. So my secret weapon on Facebook posting: no links, create curiosity, give value, ask a question, and give a call to action to get access to the goods, the value. They have to ask for it. And that actually puts you in control of the situation. And now you know who's actually going to your page. So I also want to throw a disclaimer out there. What I'm sharing with you, again, is just my personal experience. I would advise that you test this out yourself, okay? Spend a week doing some of what I just shared with you. No links, all the stuff I just said, and then try posting something with a link and just kind of, just do your own research on this and see what works best for you. But I think one of the most important things is don't be negative, really try to stay away from politics and religion if possible, even though, ironically, sometimes if you post something about politics or religion, you actually get a lot of engagement because people like to, people are sucked in to the drama of politics and engagement. But you're also now repelling a lot of people who may not agree with you. So just keep that in mind. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing because, like they say, the people who are typically having the most success don't really care about what other people think about them. So just keep that in mind. Again, just take all this in for whatever it's worth. Come up with your own your own formula, but I would definitely stick with the frequency of 1, 2, maybe 3 times a day. That's usually a great sweet spot, 2 to 3. Hopefully you got some value from this. So listen, there's a lot of other things that you're going to get in the full 90-minute training, but here's the bonus I want to give you. There's a setting inside of Facebook, and I don't have the ability to screen share right now, but if you go into your settings in Facebook and you go to your timeline settings, what you want to look for, this is a huge mistake people make. Huge mistake. I see this all the time. The setting is you do not allow people to like or comment on your post unless they are your friend. And so here's what happens, is there are a lot of people on Facebook who are not your Facebook friend who will see your post. And guess what? Those people, if your post is public, that's the other thing, you want your posts to be public, obviously, but the setting you have to go check in your timeline settings is to allow everyone, to like and comment on your posts. Because otherwise, think about it, there's this whole group of people who are going to your post, they're seeing your post in their newsfeed, they're going to your profile, and they see something that you just posted that's awesome, and they want to like and comment, but they can't because you're blocking them from being able to do that. So go check your setting. Make sure you have your posts open. They're public and they're open for likes and comments from everyone, not just your friends. And that will open you up to get more engagement, and more engagement is what you're looking for. So hope you got some value. If you got some value, here's what I'd love for you to do is down below, drop a comment. I'm going to be looking at these comments. I'm going to be checking every few days. If you have any questions on anything that I've just covered in this training, down below, drop a comment on the MLSP corporate blog right here, and I'll be coming back in here to check and see what questions you might have. If you got some value from this, I would love to hear from you down below. Let me know if this is going to help you in any way with your Facebook marketing. Again, finally, the full 90-minute training we did with a 30 minutes of Q&A with hundreds of MLSP members. We dove in even deeper on all these topics. Plus, we talk about videos. We talked about the personal page versus the business page, and the differences between the two. I also talked more about creating curiosity, the calls to actions, and the 30 minutes of Q&A was massively valuable. So here's what you'd have to do to get access to that 90-minute training with the Q&A. If you are already a mastery member of MLSP, you've already got access to it. All right. So you just go into your back office, click on training. You go down to training library, and then you look for, here's the training. It was from December 29th of 2015. And so look for that date, December 29th, 2015. The title of it is Dramatically Boost Your Facebook Engagement. Dramatically boost your Facebook engagement. That's the one you want to look for. And it'll say my name as well, Aaron Parker. So that 90-minute training was phenomenal, dives in much deeper. If you're not a mastery member of My Lead System Pro, I would strongly encourage for you to join today. Right here on this page, get back to the person who sent you here, or right here on this page, somewhere on this blog, you can click. You can become a member of MLSP. Here's the beautiful part about it, guys. My Lead System Pro teaches the best of the best in social media, online marketing, to generate leads, to get sales, capture pages. I mean, everything you could imagine in being able to build a business online is what MLSP does. It is the best platform in the world today on helping home-based business owners, network marketers, affiliate marketers, anyone who has a home-based business. You want to be able to explode your business online. I mean, we're talking about every marketing strategy you could possibly imagine, paid ads, Facebook advertising, just everything you can imagine is what you get access to as an MLSP member. And as a mastery member, you get the whole training library. That means every training they've ever done, you get access to it. I mean, this is worth tens of thousands of dollars. You get it all included with your mastery membership. And here's the cool part. When you join today, you can get a trial for like $10. And if you don't like it, you can get your $10 back. So you have nothing to lose. You've got everything to gain. Go start your MLSP trial, become a mastery member today. You'll be glad that you did. And then you will immediately get access to the full 90-minute training we did on this topic. So appreciate your time. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments below. Have an awesome day. Once again, this is Aaron Parker. Very grateful to have been able to spend some time with you today. And I'll be looking for your comments below. Have a great day. We'll talk soon. Peace.